An influential group of scientists have recently warned that several climate tipping points are now imminent. The research is part of a group of more than 14,000 scientists who have signed on an initiative declaring a worldwide climate emergency, said that governments had consistently failed to address the root cause of climate change, the overexplosion of the earth. In a similar assessment in 2019, they noted an unprecedented surge in climate-related disasters, including flooding in South America and Southeast Asia, record-shattering heat waves and wildfires in Australia and the USA, and devastating cyclones in metrics of planetary health that include greenhouse gas emissions, glacier thickness, sea ice extent, and deforestation. They found that 18 heat record highs or lows. For example, despite a dip in pollution linked to the pandemic, levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide and methane hit all-time high in 2021. Greenland and Antarctica both have recently showed all-time low level of ice mass, and glaciers are melting 31% faster than they did just 15 years ago. That said, both ocean heat and global sea levels set near record since 2019, and the annual loss rate of the Brazilian Amazon reached a year high in 2020, echoing previous research that said that forest degradation linked to fire, drought, and logging was causing parts of the Brazilian Amazon to now act as the source of carbon rather than absorb the gas from the atmosphere. Time Lanton Tim Lanton, director of the University of Exeter's Global System Institute and a study co-author, said the recent record-breaking heat waves in the western United States and Canada showed that the climate had already begun to behave in shocking, unexpected ways. We need to respond to the evidence that we are hitting climate tipping points with equally urgent action to decarbonize the global economy and start restoring instead of destroying nature. He said. The researcher said there was mounting evidence that we are nearing or have already crossed a number of climate tipping points. This includes melting of the Greenland and West Antarctic ice sheet, which may now be irreversible on a centuries-long time scale, regardless of how or if humankind slashes its emotions. They said increasing ocean dioxi- dioxygenation, dioxygenation and warming waters were threatening warm water coral reefs upon which half a billion people rely for food, income, and storm prediction. The study has been published in the journal Bioscience. The authors echoed previous call for transformative change in six areas: eliminating fossil fuel, slashing pollutants, restoring ecosystem, switching to plant-based diets, moving away from identified growth models, and stabilizing the human population. They also call for climate change education to be included in school core curriculum globally in order to raise awareness. In the intermediate term, the proposed trio of emergency responses to the climate emergency. This consisted of a significant carbon price, a global phase out and ban of fossil fuel, and the development of a strategic climate reserves reserves such as restoring and maintaining carbon sinks and biodiversity hotspots. Policy to combat the climate crisis or any other symptoms should address their root cause, human exploration of the planet, said William Ripple, distinguished professor of ecology at Oregon State University, collective of forestry. Answer the following question in your own words without copying any sentence from the passage above. What is the main resource? What is the main season of climate change? What does unprecedented search refer to? Mention some key metrics of planetary health. What hit all-time high in 2021? Why cannot Brazil and Amazon absorb carbon from the atmosphere? What are the proofs of the changed behavior of climate? Mention the evidence that we are nearing or have already crossed a number of climate tipping points. Describe the areas of transformative change. What did the scientists propose as the immediate response to the climate emergency? Give a suitable title to the passage. Write the meaning of the following words expression in English using contextual clues. The word expression are underlined in the passages. Tripping, tipping point, emission, logging, irreversible, slash, fill in the empty cells with appropriate words according to their parts of space. Give an antonym for each of the following words and make sentences with the antonyms consistently. Devastating, action, code, awareness. Make sentences of your own with each of the following words and phrases. Copying of any sentence from the above passage must be avoided. Part of, initiative, record shattering, link to, regardless, pollutant, moving away, phase out, strategic, combat. Summarize the passage in your own words within 100 words. Write a letter to the editor of an English daily, highlighting the worldwide danger of the overexplosion of the earth and its remedies. Write an essay in about 1,000 words on any one of the following topics. Bangladesh graduation to a middle income country prospects and challenges. The impact of the language movement on the liberation of 1971. Social media and teenage depression. Translate the following passage into Bangla. Blue economy can play a significant role in eradication of poverty, contributing to food and nutrition security, mitigation and adaptation of climate change, and generation of sustainable and inclusive livelihoods. Therefore, blue economy requires a balanced approach between conservation, development, and utilization of marine and coastal ecosystem. All ocean resources and services with a view to enhancing value and generates decent employment and secure productive marine economy and healthy marine ecosystem. Primarily, blue economy should have adequate focus on well-being and livelihood of people. Secondly, engagements between countries and stakeholders on blue economy should be based on the principle of mutual trust and respect, equitable mutual benefit and sharing of benefit to secure sustained and beneficial outcome of all ocean centric enterprises. It is needless to say that for the most of the developing states, particularly for Bangladesh, making transition to blue economy will entail fundamental and systematic changes in their policy, management and governance frameworks. It will also necessitate necessitate it will also necessitate the identification of various maritime economic functions, because maritime functions in the context of blue economy are not related to economic sectors only. They cover the relevant maritime value chains, including backward and forward